last week against App State, so they're going to be focused on the defense all week long. A low-scoring game because Minnesota's going to take the air out of the ball. I do have UNC winning this game against Minnesota.
I think last week was a nice scare for this North Carolina team with the App State double overtime. They get out of there with a dub. Let's go ahead and never think about that, and let's move on. Give me North Carolina winning over PJ Fleck in Minnesota.
Is it my turn to talk? Okay, got it. All right. I got my pen. I'm looking cool. I'm feeling smart.
Yeah.
All right, I got my notes here, boys. Here we go. All right, UNC's running back Hampton. He rushed for 234 yards last game. I think Minnesota gets a big dose of him this week going with North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Okay.
Not so fast, not so fast, not so fast.
Yeah, baby.
Minnesota, big hit style. They upset the Tar Heels. Minnesota.
You did a lot of cool things in your time, but you finally got a not so fast.
Yes, and this sets the bar.
I'm going with Minnesota too.
Oh, good.
I think they're going to pull North Carolina and all that speed into the mud. This is like an 18-12 kind of game. Minnesota is a team that loves, and PJ Fleck loves to be an underdog. Give me Minnesota.
Good pick.
Big game for Neil Brown in the backyard brawl. Pitt and West Virginia.
Pitt lost to Cincy last week, so it was a tough week for Pitt with Narduzzi. They're going to come in there with an attitude. Hard-fought game. It's going to come down to the end. I think that Pitt will win by a field goal.
And Morgantown, West Virginia is the reason why I don't think there's a chance. With Neil Brown's seat so incredibly blistering hot.
You're keeping that seat hot.
We can't do this, then do that. Can't do it under one coach, especially at West Virginia. But this is a lot of pride on the line for the state of West Virginia. I think WVU gets a massive win at home.
Gentlemen, this is a very emotional pick for me right now. I'm going to tell you why. Coming out of high school, both schools recruited me, offered me scholarships. I took my official visits, one to Pitt, one to West Virginia. West Virginia was amazing, Morgantown, but Pitt. Gentlemen, the cameras are rolling, so I can't tell you what I did that weekend. You know, Lee, you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Out of respect for my boy, my brother, Pat McAfee, alumni of West Virginia, that campus has never been the same since he left. I'm going to go with West Virginia.
Great pick. I'm going to tell you, 106 meeting of these two teams. 106 times. West Virginia won 4 of the last 5 at Morgantown. West Virginia game.
Boom.
Me and Daz.
Yes, sir.
Me and Daz.
Yes, sir.
Me and Daz. Me and Daz. I'm going with Pitt.
What's your problem?
Only because Pat and I have a bet that West Virginia will not get above 5 wins. So I give Pitt, and Pat Narduzzi's in a bad mood because of last week.
That's in there.
Daz and I.
All right, game coming up, early start, Penn State at Illinois. Who you got?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Penn State, this is a team that's trying to climb that mountain. They want to beat Ohio State. They want to beat Michigan. But you must focus on this Illinois team because they lost against Kansas. They're going to be in a bad mood. But Penn State gets the dub on the road.
I agree with you. I believe in this James Franklin team this year for one reason or another. Penn State's always let down their fan base at some point, seemingly, over the last 15, 20 years. This team's different. I like Penn State today.
I agree with you. Let me tell you something. That defense is scary up there. So we are Penn State.
Nice. Nice.
Nice pick. Nice pick. Penn State's ranked 7th in the country. So they cover 14. That's for.
Well, that's my super dog. I hope they don't cover it. But I do think we're going to learn a lot about Penn State. And if they're a real threat to Ohio State and Michigan and maybe winning the Big Ten, it's how Drew Aller will play on the road, where he's going to be challenged. I think Illinois is going to keep it close. They got to start faster than last week. Luke Altmaier's got to play a little bit better, and they got to play better around him. Close game, Penn State wins.
But that's the closest spread in the top 10 today.
Yes.
2 touchdowns, 14. Washington and Michigan State, Harlan Barnett taking over as head coach for the moment for Michigan State.
I like Washington in this game because I don't know the mentality, the mindset of this Michigan State team now because of what took place with Mel Tucker and Harlan Barnett being the coach. So I'm going to go with Washington and Michael Penix Jr.
Michigan State has been able to rush the rock the past 2 games pretty well. So keeping Penix Jr. off the field would be a good move for the alternate head coach. But I like the way Washington plays football, and I like their culture. Give me Washington going into Michigan getting a win.
I agree, brother. I think Washington, they're looking great. I believe they're number 1 in the country with their passing attack. I think I got to get that right. But at the same, and I know Michigan States are going through some issues right now. But here's the thing: when you got a quarterback who's that good, it really motivates the defense.
Yeah.
So I just want to see what that D-line's going to do. Still going to Washington, but I want to see what that D-line will do.
Washington's offense is too much for Spartans. Washington by 20.
Washington.
By 20. I think it's a real good week for Washington to be able to prove this is a team that won 10 last year. All they're hearing about are all the distractions from Michigan State. Be easy to just show up and go through the motions and fight for your life to get out of there with a win. I don't think so. I think Kalen DeBoer will have them ready. Penix has a monster game. Washington wins big.
You know what? I agree. Look at that graphic.
A lot of
and
them.
80%.
Yeah.
And all signs point
Yeah, I know, exactly.
All signs point green.
How about Syracuse, Purdue?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Syracuse is looking really good, but the level of competition has not been up there. It has been really subpar. Purdue's battle-tested. They lost the game. I'm going with the Boilermakers over Syracuse.
Okay, I like the Boilermakers as well because Coach Walters had his defense flying around second half last week. Not a single point given up. Give me Purdue to get the big dub.
You guys got the details down. I got to tell you in the stats, but here's what I got. Garrett Schrader, of course, I feel like he's going to have a great game. But here's the thing that I didn't know. Their mascot, the orange mascot, is in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
How about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I'm going with Syracuse.
He took a page out of your notes right there.
I said it again. I'll say it again. I was a coach in Indiana. I hate Purdue. Anybody but Purdue. Anybody but Purdue.
Boiler up for me today. I think Hudson Card has a chance to have a big game. And this is a Purdue team. You know, they lose week 1 to Fresno. They bounce back, find a way against Virginia Tech. New head coach. It's a chance for them to get a little bit of momentum. I'm going with the Boilers.
You know, and Arkansas hasn't run the ball as well as expected. Rocket Sanders has been hurt. BYU comes in there as an 8-point underdog.
KJ Jefferson's been playing really good. 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions, completing 73% of his passes. I'm going with the Razorbacks.
Yeah, you know, I don't know why I did this, but it's just kind of how I feel. Give me BYU. I just think for some reason, mature team going in there, getting a big-time dub. Look for that one today.
Very mature team.
Thank you. Very mature.
Last week,
Very mature.
Very mature.
Very
That's how I feel right now. Very mature. Wait as the show goes on, you guys going to see. So to say, look, that defense kept them in the game last week until that offense caught up. So I'm same thing. I'm going to have to go with Arkansas.
Rock, that's a terrific pick. Terrific pick.
Thank you, my friend.
And home field advantage, Arkansas, 2 touchdowns.
BYU going into SEC territory.
Yeah.
Right? That I want to see. I want to see how they handle that atmosphere. I know Sanders is out, puts more on KJ Jefferson. I think he's going to play throwing the football and also some big runs in a row.
I don't love that.
And that's now Big 12 against the SEC.
Yes.
With BYU, they're
Yes.
getting used to all of the conference.
Here we go.
You saved the graphic there, Pat.
Yeah,
Thanks
save
for
the
that.
graphic for sure.
As soon as we're done,
Arkansas
LSU and
fans better get
Mississippi
lost.
State. Bayou Bengals have won 10 of their last 11 in Starkville.
Yeah, Mississippi State struggled with mobile quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels has not had a rushing touchdown yet. He gets one today. I'm going with the Bayou Bengals.
I am agreeing with you,
Yes, sir.
my friend. Give me LSU just because I feel like it's going to be time for Daniels to get going. Had 5 touchdowns last week. Obviously wasn't the start he wanted. Give me LSU and Brian Kelly bouncing back.
I agree. Jaden Daniels all day long. But again, I'm a defensive boy, so I think it's going to motivate that D-line. I like to see how those guys are going to get after him.
I hate to tell you this.
Still going with LSU.
Yeah, LSU. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. The Cowboys, right?
Yeah. The
No,
cowbells.
Cowbells.
Cowboys as well.
I
There's
said that
Cowboys
last
there.
week.
Yeah.
And Cowgirls.
Cowbells of Mississippi State upset LSU.
Wow.
Too many cowbells.
The loud cowbells.
Cowbell.
Early kick, 11 a.m. local, right after the show. I'm going with LSU. I think the setback in week 1 to Florida State really woke LSU up. And I don't think Mississippi State, they're going to be able to run the football against that front Rock's talking about. I got LSU. Jaden Daniels making a lot of plays.
Thamel told us a few moments ago, Georgia rather is going to be without Lad McConkey. It's their first conference game. South Carolina is the last team to win in Athens, and they did it in 2019.
I tell you what, this Georgia defense will get after Spencer Rattler. They got some guys with a lot of experience, and we saw Spencer Rattler against UNC earlier in the season, a couple of weeks ago. Did not look good when he's pressured. I like Georgia big over South Carolina today.
Yeah, and a lot of people are wondering about Georgia's offense because they haven't really had to do much thus far. This is a good test to see where this Georgia offense is under Carson Beck's direction. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs having a great day and rattling the Rattler
Boom.
of South Carolina.
Look, I agree. I think that O-line is going to come out, and I think they're going to show out. Defense is always great at Georgia. Brock Bowers, who we know is very personal, he's been great for us on Zoa Energy NIL program. I'm going to have to go with Georgia. And by the way, they can repeat. They got a real shot.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
3.
Georgia has the longest winning streak in the country at 19.
Wow.
They could make it 20.
Okay.
Nobody in the world is picking South Carolina, right? There's no chance. I think the story of the game is what The Rock just said. He keeps referring to defensive line for obvious reasons. The defensive line from Georgia against South Carolina's offensive line is a major concern for Rattler. And I just don't think South Carolina has much depth on defense. I think this game will get out of hand.
Has been a concern for Beamer. There are some graphics we try to save and some that are just fine the way they are. The red and black cheese up there.
Yeah.
Kirk's calling Tennessee, Florida. He won't make a pick here. We've talked about the futility that the Vols have had in Gainesville. Who wins tonight?
The Swamp is a difficult place at night. It's just a different environment. I'm not sure I believe in this Napier's team thus far. I think Tennessee's going to win a close one, maybe about 3 points at the end.
You talk about Napier's team, and I think today is a massive game for Billy Napier and that entire squad and the outside optics of the entire building because of how long it's been since Tennessee has come into the Swamp and get a dub. So give me the Florida Gators. Backs against the wall.
Wow.
To beat Tennessee.
Wow.
Okay.
Good call.
yeah.
Good call.
That's a good
Interesting
pick.
pick.
Okay. Jalen Wright coming off at 9 yards per carry last week. That's going to be tough. But here's the thing, boys. You guys know this. Being a Miami boy, Miami Hurricane, biologically, I cannot root for no, Tennessee all the way.
Hey, being a Florida State guy, I agree with you. Listen to this. Tennessee hasn't won 2 in a row against Florida in 19 years. Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
Come on.
Nice. Can you turn to me? I'll turn back the result.
Yep.
I'm calling the game. They don't let me make picks. They don't let me
Kirk's
make
headed
picks.
down there as soon as the show's over to call Tennessee and Florida. But this one tonight, Colorado State and Colorado. All right, so Jay Norvell threw a little gasoline on the fire with his hat and glasses. Don't wear them when you talk to grown-ups, Sing. But the truth of the matter is this. Colorado has bigger tests ahead. At Oregon next week. USC here after that. What you find out about the foundation of a program, do you beat the teams you're supposed to beat? And they're supposed to beat the Rams tonight. They're a 24-point favorite. The last time the Buffs were this big a favorite, 2018, favored by 25 and a hook against Oregon State. And they lost.
Ooh.
We're going to see if the Buffs can take care of their business like grown-ups.
Wow.
It's time. I don't care if they hear it in bold. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
You got to be a fool to do that.
We got the biggest stage in college football right now. Nobody's giving us a chance.
We want to dominate CSU. This week is domination.
It's going to be a great test. A battle of Colorado, but they'll mess around and made it.
It's personal. Who wins? And I was in the football building yesterday working out when I had a chance to talk to coaches and people on the strength conditioning staff and ask them about Jay Norvell's comments about Coach Prime. They just said one thing. They said, Desmond, Saturday night, they're going to F around and find out. I'm going Buffs.
The only thing I have to say about this is the last time College Game Day traveled to a game that was this big a point spread, speaking of the F-bomb, LC dropped an F-bomb when we were down at Houston. So I'm anxious to see if that happens here shortly. So I've got Colorado big. LC, I'm excited to see what you have.
And for me, I think ever since I was a child, I've looked up to Deion Sanders. I like the greats that know that they're great and work hard to be great and continue to be great in everything that they do. Since Coach Prime has been a coach, he has done nothing but dominate. He shows up here in Boulder. He gets his new Louis Vuitton luggage. They just so happen to be better, stronger, faster than everybody else they're on the field with. This Colorado Buffalo fan base has been yearning for a team like this for so long, and today's story started beautifully on College Game Day, and it's going to end with Colorado Buffaloes railroading Jay Norvell and Colorado State.
What do you do there, baby?
I got to tell you, boys, something. You're feeling this right now, and I think the world's feeling this. There's something really special here happening at Colorado, something special that's happening here in Boulder. And that special thing is this. You could feel the electricity. Yeah. You could feel the electricity. You could feel what we call mana. and it comes from in here. It's all around here. That's what Coach Prime is doing in this program. He's galvanizing this. He's galvanizing the team, galvanizing this campus, galvanizing the country, changing the game of college football. But here's what I say. It reminds me of our Miami days with swagger, with confidence. And here's the thing. You got to be a little crazy to disrupt, right? You got to be a little crazy to disrupt. And here's what happens when you tell anyone, especially like Coach Prime, you can't do something. So today, go Colorado all day, baby. Yes, sir. It's personal.
I think
it's always personal.
I think he wants you in the uniform today.
I'll set the edge.
Any more eligibility?
Remember that comment about shoulder pads?
He doesn't need them. He doesn't need them. And now, number 400, the 400 headgear pick.
Thank you, Coach.
It's real. Colorado is now the talk of the entire nation, and they deserve it. It's been 26 years since I picked Colorado. This pick is for my friend Chris Fowler. Come on, Buffaloes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Chris Fowler.
There we go. Headgear pick. In honor of Chris Fowler, Colorado alum, who will be on the call tonight for Tennessee and Florida. What a morning it's been here in Boulder. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, absolutely sensational. Thank you so much for being here. Deion Sanders joined us. Cast of thousands. The 400th headgear is in the books, and now we're on our way to 500. What a morning it's been. Confetti is ready. Go Buffs! You can get those Buffs rolled up. Colorado State, 10 Eastern time tonight on ESPN. Enjoy your college football day. From a Rocky Mountain high to a cowbell cacophony, Coach Corso's 400th headgear on one end and a 37-year-old Coach Arnett's first SEC game on this end. Folks, you want loud? We've got loud. You want to know what home field advantage feels like, what it looks like, what it means to play in front of this crowd? Mississippi State fans are pushing the limits of ring responsibly. This is the incomparable atmosphere of Starkville as we welcome you to ESPN College Football, presented by Zales. It is the start of the SEC schedule for number 14 LSU on the road, facing the Bulldogs for an 11 a.m. local kickoff. And Katie George, that comes with early morning unique challenges.
Yeah, Tess, Brian Kelly has some concerns about the early start in this hostile environment. So he's taken some steps to make sure his team is awake and ready for this game. Instead of a quiet, normal breakfast, players were greeted with blaring music at pregame meal. Then the team stopped halfway through their hour-long drive to Starkville at a car dealership. Kelly said he didn't want guys falling asleep on the ride in, so they made a 15-minute pit stop. Players got off the buses, went through stretches, did a little walkthrough to get their blood flowing. The last 30 minutes of the drive had nonstop music. Kelly said, usually you're telling guys not to turn it up too soon before games. Now we're telling our players, you must turn it up immediately, Tess.
How about that access? 9:20 in the morning, and we got crews out at car dealerships a half an hour away. Glad you're with us to start your college football Saturday. Joe Tessitore, as always, with my partner, Jesse Palmer. And Jess, listen, there are far bigger stadiums in the SEC.
Oh, yeah?
But pound for pound, this place roars like none other.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. You have firsthand knowledge of how tricky a spot it is.
Breaking out in hives that I feel like I have PTSD standing here because once upon a time back in 2000, I was quarterbacking the Florida Gators, and we came into Starkville. We were the number 3 team in the country. A few hours later, we left with our first loss of the season, and Joe, we got beat on the field.
Yep.
But we were not ready for this environment. We were not ready for this atmosphere. To call this place hostile, Joe, that's an understatement. It was the cowbell. It was so loud. There was only 43,000 people at the stadium that day. We might as well have been playing in Tiger Stadium. It felt like 100,000 plus. This crowd really can impact the game, and LSU has a massive challenge today.
Mississippi State won the toss. They elect to receive. So that means we get the record-setting quarterback, Will Rogers. But, Jesse,
in a new offense. So his numbers aren't the same as what we've been used to for years.
That's right. His career has been nothing short of prolific at Mississippi State, but he is playing in a new offensive system under new offensive coordinator Kevin Barbay, and they're running the ball a lot more. There's a lot of new schemes and pass protection with the route concept. So this is only his third game in it. He's learning on the fly. They only threw the ball 17 times last week to beat Arizona, but Joe, you get the feeling to win this one against LSU, they're going to need a bigger workload out of Rodgers.
Woody Marks, the senior running back who's close to becoming a record setter. He's one catch away from becoming the all-time receiving leader in Mississippi State as they go to Justin Robinson, the big 6'4", 220-pound target. Impact players brought to you by Doc's Pretzels.
Well, Woody Marks and Tulu Griffin are the two most dynamic players on offense for the Bulldogs. They've got to touch it early and often. And Harold Perkins Jr. is a linebacker at LSU. They're kind of playing with where he lines up, but he's so fast. They need to get him around the ball.
Here is Marks as he was patiently waiting on that left side, but tackled by Whit Weeks right at the line of scrimmage. Mentioned Kevin Barbay, the new offensive coordinator. He was the OC at App State last year when they beat A&M. Remember, they put 61 points up on UNC.
And they ran the football 52 times in that win against Texas A&M. Kevin Barbay wants to run the football, and that ideology really blends well with head coach Zach Arnett and what he wants to do.
Rodgers being chased on 2nd and 10, and he just has to throw it away. It was Savion Jones who was bringing the pressure against Will Rogers.
All right, so here's a situation now on 3rd down. We talked about Harold Perkins Jr. being an impact player for LSU. His pass rushing ability has to show up for the Tigers. Last year led them with 7.5 sacks. He's playing out in the slot on 1st and 2nd down, but they're going to put him close to the line of scrimmage and let him get after Will Rogers. You see, last year, he was rushing the passer a lot more than this season. They want to get him more involved in downs like this.
See him on the edge, bottom of your screen, 3rd and 10. He's coming around the right tackle, but Rodgers able to get rid of it. Incomplete. It was far off to the side. As you see, just a little something extra, and a flag comes in as that was Cam Jones and Harold Perkins barking at each other.
Result of play is an incomplete pass. After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 58. Personal foul. Defense, number 4. Those fouls offset. It's 4th down.
Well, you can see Perkins coming off the right side, and it's smart to have him come off the right side, especially when you have a right-handed quarterback like Will Rogers, because even though he doesn't get there, Will Rogers can see number 4 in his peripheral, and you see there the extracurricular activity blow for blow early in this one.
So Keelan Crimmins on to punt. Greg Clayton back deep for the Tigers. Clayton with the fair catch around the 17-yard line. Jaden Daniels, of course, the 2nd-year starter at LSU. So much hype was built into this 2023 season. He was named first-team preseason All-SEC by the media and the coaches.
Yeah, Joe, he's one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the country. That's why he's in the Heisman discussion. He can hurt you throwing the football. He's very accurate, but what makes him unique is running the ball on designed runs, on scrambles, and it was his legs, Joe, that was a huge difference in this game last year against Mississippi State.
Speaking of running the ball, it's been running back by committee for the talented Tigers backfield. Logan Diggs gets the start today, the transfer from Notre Dame. A lot of movement up front, especially on that left side of the offensive line.
Ball start, offense, the entire line move before the center snap the ball. 5-yard penalty, it remains 1st down.
He said there, the entire line moved before the snap. We were talking about the cowbell, Joe. That is a real thing. Not to bring back bad memories for myself, but we got sacked 7 times back in 2000. It was hard for anybody to hear the snap.
So the first impact already made in a 1st and 15 before LSU's first offensive play. Daniels is going to pull. And pushing him out was Buki Watson. who was second in the SEC in tackles a year ago.
Well, this is going to be a big key for Mississippi State, is trying to control when Jaden Daniels runs the football. There's going to be designed runs like that when you've got guys like Watson with his speed that maybe can go sideline to sideline, but it's in the passing situations. D coordinator Matt Brock knows they've got to stay in their rush lanes, trying to contain Jaden Daniels. This is a defense that loves the blitz, but you can't get out of control because he will hurt you. If he sees an opening, especially in the middle of the field, he is going to take off.
Matt Brock, of course, stepping in. He was Zach Arnett's right-hand man for many years here. 2nd and 10, Daniels over the middle, just hooking it up as he's able to get Logan Diggs out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and short.
A nice job by LSU, kind of getting some of that yardage back here early after having the penalty on 1st down, making this 3rd down manageable. But here comes the noise, and this is where communication is key.
3rd and 2. Daniels to pass on 3rd and 2. Looking for something. Trying to extend the play, being chased, and is able to connect well with Diggs. And Diggs has it out past the 40-yard line. So that is exactly what Jaden Daniels can do. Get you audible, extend the play, and find something.
Well, it looked like he may have had Malik Neighbors here open late on the drag route right there. You see Neighbors put his hand up. He didn't like it, and this is what Jaden Daniels does. He just extends the play. If you don't keep him caged up inside, he finds a throw, and all of a sudden it's a new set of downs.
And it's 16 yards to Diggs. 5th year starting overall. 46 games of starting experience now for Daniels. Pulls it out from Diggs again. Flag is down as he made his way to the 48-yard line. Watson again with the tackle.
They're going to get Miles Frazier for holding up front.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 94. The 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run and includes an automatic 1st down.
That's Jaden Crumity, and number 94 working in the middle. I thought number 70 was holding him right here, but you see the face mask there on Logan Diggs. Yeah, that's a good call by the referee, and enough 1st down here for LSU.
John Emery, who didn't play the first 2 games, is now in at running back. Number 4, the senior, had 6 touchdowns a year ago. Looks Emery's way, get him into space, trying to get to the edge. Excellent pursuit overall by that defensive front. It was Nicholson, the corner, who cleaned it up, but Jet Johnson and the rest were down the line.
Seeing Emery in the lineup here for LSU, he was the number 1 rated running back coming out of high school back in 2019. He's missed time because of injuries and academics, but they want to get him going. He's got talent running the ball, but he can catch it too. He's a big weapon in this offense.
That was a loss of 3. Daniels on 2nd and 13 goes underneath the Max Markway, the freshman tight end. By the way, Mason Taylor, the excellent tight end, now a sophomore, been dealing with an ankle injury all week long.
Yeah, and that's a big loss for LSU because of situations like this on 3rd down. Because of his size and speed, he's been a matchup problem for situations like this. So where does Jaden Daniels feel comfortable working here? He's got Malik Neighbors in the slot out to his right. That's generally the guy in situations like this he likes to look for.
Third down and 8. Here comes pressure on Daniels right in his face as he gets rid of it about a yard short of that line to gain connecting with Malik Neighbors.
Well, they're just bringing a lot of heat right up the middle here. A lot of extra bodies at the point of attack. Jaden Daniels is hot. He's got to get rid of this throw quickly. Really nice poise finding the open man.
4th down and 1. As you see, there was a substitution. Brian Kelly a little frustrated with the freshman tight end, Markway. And with that, they're going to call a timeout. So a miscommunication with the tight end running onto the field. It'll be a 4th down when we come back to Start Vegas.
Let's do it.
Come on, Josh, get me.
Oh, nice play. All right, let's go. There we go.
So cute. At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work. Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest? I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband. Get it together.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
Travis Kelce is a champion twice.
Dude, my new ringtone.
Travis, zip it. It's your year, big guy. Let's get you ready.
With 16 grams of protein per can in chunky spicy chicken noodle, soup that eats like a meal.
It's been so long since I've seen you. You guys should come over and watch the game again this Sunday. We would love that.
You said you didn't want to watch the game with them.
What? No, I didn't, sweetie.
You said they never stop talking.
Girl, I never said that. She just be making stuff up. We don't need to see the replay. You just check it.
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, saving money when you bundle home and auto with Progressive.
See?
Where is that bus?
When football was introduced, Arby's and boneless wings weren't a thing. Now they are a thing. And eating $5 boneless wings with fries is the most popular sport in America. Arby's, we have the meat.
Did we just get hustled? There's no way they were 70. Interesting. It's both electric and a gas car. Yep. Quite the paradox.
So JJ's for lunch?
The first ever Lexus RX plug-in hybrid. Electric for short trips, gas for long. It really is both.
It's always a party in Oxford, Mississippi. Hotty toddy. It's football time at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Thrilled you're with us watching the SEC on ESPN. Fourth down, Jesse.
You'll remember in the Florida State game a few weeks back, they got stuffed on 4th and 1 twice in the first half. This has been a little bit of an area of concern early this year for LSU.
And 61,000 cowbells roaring early against Brian Kelly's offense. They make the shift, come with a tight alignment. They go with the tap pass to Neighbors, and it works. Well blocked, and Malik Neighbors is able to move the sticks.
Really nice job. Chris Hilton Jr., the receiver, number 17 here. He does a nice job getting a little kick out on a DB, and that opens up the lane for Neighbors. A nice wrinkle there from Mike Denbrock, something that Mississippi State has not yet seen on film this year in that situation.
Well done by Chris Hilton. Daniels on first down, going to quickly get it out right back to Neighbors as he is able to drive towards the stick.
It's a good drive here in the opening possession for LSU, and for Daniels, just taking what the defense gives you, right? This Mississippi State defense, their corners like to play soft, so they'll give you those 5-6 yards completions if you can be patient enough, and so far on this drive, number 5 for LSU has done that.
Jaden Daniels, 7 for 7 to open things up here. 10th play of the drive. Remember, it started at the 12-yard line after that 5-yard penalty. Empty look here as Diggs motion out at 2nd and 1. Back under the middle for a first down to Chris Hilton. Daniels looks right, saw Diggs, comes back to Hilton. Another first down LSU.
You get the sense, Joe, that Mississippi State defensively, someone has to just step up here and make a play, right? Backs against the wall. This is not an easy place to throw if you're LSU. So a lot of the coverages they like to play on defense, they've got their eyes on the quarterback, and they've got a lot of speed in the back end to break on these passes.
First and goal at the 10-yard line. Daniels gets it over the middle of Neighbors again as he is ridden down by Nicholson.
It's a nice job that time by Nicholson. playing high. They were trying to run underneath with Neighbors, and he just sort of closed down on them and made a nice tackle. You want to tackle the catch. You see Neighbors exiting the game a little gingerly. It's a really nice job defensively by Mississippi State.
Diggs on 2nd and goal, as it's going to be 3rd down from about the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal headed their way as the bells ring louder.
They're going hurry up on LSU. That zone read play is something they may go right back to here.
Diggs tries to go up and over, and they're coming in with the mark just short.
Jaden Crumedy did an outstanding job up front for Mississippi State, completely collapsing the line of scrimmage and making this difficult. He created a pile, which was massive. And now here we go. You've seen this before from LSU, right? Week 1. What do they do down here by the goal line? This is a place, obviously, Jaden Daniels' legs are a huge factor.
Remember the opening drive against Florida State with a 4th down sack. 4th and goal here. Flag comes down as Diggs pushed ahead. And it looks like this is against LSU.
False start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Made 4th down.
Well, we talk about the cowbell. There's been a few false start penalties here for LSU on the drive. Will Campbell just couldn't hold his water, just flinched a little bit early, and that's a great job by Mississippi State. After allowing all those yards, hey, you bend, you don't break. You give up a field goal here, you feel like that's a win. Let's get the ball back to Will Rogers, and let's go to work.
Damian Ramos comes in after the penalty for the short field goal attempt. Just a 23-yarder to open up this game. And he's able to put it through. Those cowbells count for something. They pushed back the offense. Held to 3 are the Tigers.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, like 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling. You're being too loud. Thank you. Good choice. My lucky number.
Earn 5 times miles on flights.
Enjoy your stay.
Going up?
And 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges.
White wine, please.
And maybe see the one and only Taylor Swift. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
For all my life, I'll be devoted to you. You don't have to be there to be there with AT&T 5G.
Tell your dreams to me, fantasy will set you free. Close your eyes, girl, look inside, girl, let the sound take you away.
Some people just know there's a podcast about that. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
Big tea drinker.
Yeah.
There's a podcast about tea.
He knows, and he wants you to know too.
I was listening to a podcast on it. Dogs know their dogs.
There's a podcast about that?
Just like he wants you to know about Allstate.
There's a podcast about fly fishing called Why Is That Person Doing That? It's called Tea-rific.
Are you listening to a podcast?
Yeah, it's about multitasking.
Some people just know there's a podcast about that. Those are the people who know you're in good hands with Allstate.
I used to watch the Heisman House every year on TV. And I'd always wonder, is it real? It's very real.
Take a little bit more up the top.
Now that I've been here a while, it's a lot like campus. We have roommates.
Hey, Caleb, just try and keep it down. It's nap time.
Of course, there's a gym.
10.
All right, people, here we go. Looking good, RG3. No, you're looking good, RG3.
Yeah, so it's a lot like
room, rookie.
we're doing a tiki-talk. Pound. Just like campus.
ESPN College Football is presented by Zales, only at Zales, the Diamond Store, and in part by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven.
There is nothing quite like it in all of college football. The cowbell's ringing in Starkville. Jesse, you know it well.
Yeah, watching this will be tough. But, we came into this game again, 3 in the nation. We were feeling good about ourselves. We never prepared for the noise of what we were going to see, and we were under duress all game long. Taking safeties is never fun. Getting a high ankle sprain in the process makes it worse. You're no longer mobile at all. And we just we were never able to get into a rhythm, Joe, in that game. And this is a place that I don't care who you are. When you come in, you've got to be mentally locked and loaded, ready to go.
Tulu Griffin is a dangerous return man. See what he can offer up here. Patiently waiting for a block and then making the most of it is Griffin. A good return for Mississippi State.
Tesh, Jesse, just a quick update. Malik Neighbors, who had 4 catches on LSU's opening drive, is dealing with a right shoulder injury. He came off to the sidelines. Athletic trainers were assessing it, working on it. He was writhing in pain. He's on the bench right now with the wide receivers, still trying to work through some of that pain, but something to keep an eye on as we move forward this afternoon, Tess.
Yeah, Katie's such a big part of their success on offense. A 46-yard return from Tulu Griffin. So this drive will start at the Mississippi State 48-yard line. Big Mason Smith opposite the playmakers on Mississippi State, including Will Rogers. Rogers sprint left, being chased down, being taken down by Jones.
How about that athleticism by Savion Jones at 280 pounds? He's working against the true freshman Malik Ellis at tight end here, and kind of dips inside, and then you see the speed and the ability to get outside and put pressure on Will Rogers. The pass rush has been a bit of an issue early this year, honestly, Joe, for LSU. That's only their 2nd sack on the season. They need more of this, but they've got some matchups up front that I think LSU really is looking forward to taking advantage of.
So now a 2nd and 17 for Rogers to deal with. It'll be 3rd and long, and on 3rd and long, watch out for Harold Perkins coming off the edge.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. Again, this is a brand new offense, right? Kevin Barbay, and it's not just for the quarterback, but it's for wide receivers too. And this is only their 3rd game. You got to remember, every time they take the field, they're learning something new, and you see a little bit of those issues now showing up here early in this one.
Third and 17. And he was trying to get it to Woody Marks. Nothing was going to happen there, no matter. And it is a struggle early on for this Mississippi State offense.
But again, it's Perkins and just his presence off the right side of the line of scrimmage working against Jones. Just the speed forces Rogers to have to step up in the pocket, and it totally puts him off of rhythm. Watch this. As a right-handed quarterback, you see this, you feel it. And all of a sudden, your feet kind of get off base. You don't have your accuracy. Your clock, it quickens up. Doesn't have a sack in this game, but number 4 has already made an impact for LSU.
Yeah, 2nd time Crimmins is right back out there to punt away. Running up to field, it is Clayton. Whole lot of traffic on that short punt. Mississippi State just 5 yards of offense on this beautiful day on a beautiful campus here in Starkville.
Tennessee, Florida, Colorado State, Colorado, tonight on ESPN.
Did we just get hustled? There's no way they were 70. Interesting. It's both an electric and a gas car. Yep. Quite the paradox.
So JJ's for lunch?
Electric for short trips, gas for long. It really is both. The first ever Lexus RX plug-in hybrid.
F-R-E-E. Oh, yeah, free. Get a free eye exam when you buy 2 pairs of glasses starting at just $79.95. Book an exam today at americasbest.com.
Domino's new pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread is the best thing since bacon and jalapeno stuffed cheesy bread, which was the best thing since original stuffed cheesy bread. Get Domino's new pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread or any other 2 or more mix and match items for just $6.99 each at Domino's.
We're surprising Twisted Tea superfans with a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol to kick off your game day. Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Keep it twisted.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy. So you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
Hey, babe.
I thought you were making dinner. It's
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Better communication? Maybe tomorrow. Tonight, Panera. Solving crunch time and dinner with one easy swipe. That's big. Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
When game time runs into dinner time, a hero must rise. Like DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza. Because delicious, fresh baked taste straight from your oven always wins. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
When things go sideways, will you be prepared? I want to introduce you to the Patriot Power Generator 2000X. Use the endless free power of the sun to power lights, your TV, medical equipment, even run your fridge. And that's without gas, fumes, or noise. Go to 4patriots.com. You'll get a solar panel included free, double the capacity, expandable for more power, and more outlets than ever. This is about peace of mind. Get your solar generator and free panel at 4patriots.com.
You got me.
Ty, you're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. For the guarantee of high-quality promotional items delivered on time, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
46 games now started for Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix, the leader among active quarterbacks at 49. By the way, Bo Nix next week against Coach Prime.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be big. I'll tell you what's impressive about Jaden Daniels. 46 starts, just the toughness, right? And he's taking big shots week in, week out. To not miss time, that's impressive.
Packed on a little bit of weight to help out. Daniels as wide open as Neighbors. Remember, he was favoring a shoulder moments ago, right back into the game, and a good start to this drive for LSU. Malik Neighbors.
It's a nice design by Mike Denbrock in the route concept. You've got 2 guys on the outside clearing out. You see that? And that opens up green grass for Neighbors to run into. That's just easy pitch and catch.
32-yard reception. And now Diggs gets the work. And this is exactly what Diggs can do, the yards after contact, and give them a physical presence.
Yeah, listen, for years, this has been a running back by committee, right? And for the last 3 years, they've had big guys, physical, that can get you 3, 4, 5 yards. But the question is, who can be a game breaker? When you think back to Darius Geis, Leonard Fournette, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they used to have home run hitters, and they're hoping Logan Diggs can be a little bit of that this year.
Second and 2. And quick to the outside to Chris Hilton. And what a good start for Jaden Daniels here on the road with the early kickoff. He is now 11 for 11 to start the game.
Seems like he's really dialed in. I tell you, this is not an easy defense to prepare for. This 3-3-5 scheme of Zach Arnett and Matt Brock, you don't see a lot of it. It's become sort of a new in vogue defense to stop spread offenses. They're very good at disguising things. But so far, number 5 from LSU, you could tell he had a good week of practice. He came into this one sharp.
Daniels on first down. Gonna take a shot to the end zone, and Neighbors comes up with it. Malik Neighbors, outstanding touchdown catch from Jaden Daniels, who's a perfect 12 for 12 to start the game.
And Jaden Daniels had the matchup he wanted. He had Neighbors, his best receiver, against the safety in Hunter Washington on the fade throw. This is a throw they haven't hit a bunch of early this season, but they hit that exact same play in this game last year on a 4th and 3 situation. Neighbors showing you his suddenness, his ability to separate. That's why Daniels has so much faith and confidence in him. And good news for the LSU offense, knowing that number 8 at receiver, it looks pretty healthy.
So much was made with the preparation. That guy right there, Brian Kelly, you see him talking to his big offensive lineman, Charles Turner, the center, said, listen, we got to be ready. We got to fire right from the start. He was concerned about the 1-hour bus drive just to get there. Had them stop at a car dealership, played loud music. They are firing early. This offense is in gear right away, and you saw it with the 26-yard touchdown pass, Daniels to Neighbors.
Well, it's a nice job by Jaden Daniels on that last play. We talked about how good he's been in the pre-snap. He's looking at safeties. He's seeing the rocking and rolling, and he knows outside, I've got my best receiver against the safety on a fade route with nobody on the outside. Perfectly placed throw, a great decision, getting it out early. You just see the burst that Neighbors has. It's not fair for any safety to have to cover him a one-on-one like that. Lots of weapons in this offense, Katie, and early, Jaden Daniels looking good.
You know, Jesse, the NFL feedback Jaden Daniels received in January was hesitant, and it fueled him this offseason. Daniels says, if you watch the tape this year, I'm standing in there giving my guys a shot, letting them get open, getting through my progressions, and making decisive decisions, having the pocket presence. He said last year, yeah, I'll admit it, I was quick to take off and run it before allowing the play to develop. He feels like his pocket presence has improved, as has his decision-making.
Brian Kelly said he wants to see him play with a sense of urgency. That is what he has done here with this early kickoff in Starkville. 10-zip LSU. Remember, the offense was, and I know the level of competition last week in beating Grambling, but still, when you score on 10 consecutive drives, I don't care who you're playing. Ball's not hitting the ground.
It's hard to do that in 7-on-7 in practice.
Tonight on ESPN, we have 2 games of action for you. At 7 Eastern, it is that Vols offense. Number 11, Tennessee, at the Swamp, the rivalry game against Florida. And then it is Coach Prime. 10 o'clock Eastern, Colorado State. Lighting a fire with some of the talk this week. And number 18, CU.
Man, and like, how many more snaps can Travis Hunter play this year? You talk about the Prime effect, what he's been able to do. And yeah, it's a lot more talent and recruiting, but to me, it's just the attitude this team has and their expectation every time they take the field.
Whistles come in before Mississippi State's offense, as LSU will call a timeout. Today's weekend lineup is brought to you by Wendy's Beef. As we talked about, 2 of the games coming your way tonight. Another full day of action. Alabama is back to the field on ABC. A trip down to Tampa.
Tyler Buckner getting the start for Alabama.
What do you make of it?
Well, you know, obviously Jalen Monroe had some struggles in their loss against Texas last week, and Buckner, a guy that knows Tommy Rees's offense. Of course, they both came from Notre Dame. I think everybody expects Alabama to roll in that game, but I think more than anything, you're just looking for efficiency out of the Tide, especially in the passing game.
Mississippi State is looking for some efficiency. Their first play of the game went for 12 yards, but since then, they have 6 plays, -7 yards.
Joe, I think they got to get number 7 and number 5 to football as many ways as possible right now.
Right now, Woody Marks, number 7, is flanking the side of Rogers as he gets the call here, and there is nothing to find against the interior of that offensive line.
Yeah.
Whit Weeks and the rest of them with the run fit.
Man, this LSU defense, they are big, they are physical, and they've got a lot of matchups that they can win just because of how long they are. Traditionally, very hard to run in between the tackles when you're playing against LSU. So a huge challenge for this Mississippi State offense.
Rogers being chased by Perkins. As coming back to the ball was Robinson, and they're going to mark him where it'll be a 3rd down and 2.
Well, there's a play you didn't see a lot in Mike Leach's air raid offense, right? A play action fake and a bootleg, and it totally tricked Harold Perkins, who was coming on the blitz that time. They had the perfect play call, now setting up 3rd and short.
Review.
Jason Autry heads up this SEC crew as the play is officially under review. That catch on the sideline by Robinson. Robinson was the MVP of their bowl win a year ago.
Yeah, he's a big guy, 6'4", does a nice job here getting low to the ground. Now, he has to have and establish complete and maintain complete and continuous control. The ball's allowed to touch the ground, but it can't help him make the catch. So that's the question referees are going to be looking at here. There, the ball hits the ground, it looks like, but do you see any movement in the ball after he has it? Is there any wiggle? And, of course, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn the ruling on the field, which was, in fact, a catch. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I mean, the ground can't help you. You must have firm control if you see any movement at all at that point. So does he have firm control at that point? It's very questionable, and thus why they're reviewing it. To my belief, he does not have established firm control before the ball hits the ground. I believe that they will review this and overturn it as an incomplete pass.
It is a big play call, too, in this game at a time where Mississippi State offensively is trying to create some momentum here. 3rd and 1 is a lot different than 3rd and 10 with Harold Perkins Jr. out there.
Justin Robinson made the effort on that ball. Will Rogers has been constantly trying to fight for survival and give his team a chance. On the field, it was ruled a 9-yard reception, which would make a 3rd and 1. However, it looks like the ball hit the ground before he had established firm control with his hands. I find it so interesting to see how Will Rogers has approached things with this offense, Jesse. Young man who thinks like a coach. They always talk about that, the son of a coach, and such a difference going from the air raid to this system.
After video review, the ruling is an incomplete pass. The receiver did not have firm control prior to the ball touching the ground. It'll be Mississippi State's ball, 3rd down at the 25-yard line.
So they will walk that back, and it'll be a 3rd down and 10. And that is the spot where LSU has gotten off on Will Rogers.
So if you're Kevin Barbay now, the offensive coordinator for Mississippi State, you've got to have a plan for Harold Perkins Jr. rushing off the edge. This time, he's lined up on the left side against Petravius Johnson one-on-one. They've got the running back up that way as well. You need to have a plan for number 4 and his speed.
Against the left tackle, locked up, tried to set up the screen to Woody Marks, and that ball was thrown too high. So they're going to be punting again, and the offense just can't find itself here.
Well, I like the idea on the play call because you're trying to throw the screen behind Perkins coming this way and just try to get him in behind. They just couldn't link up for it right here. As a quarterback, you're holding it to the last possible second. I've seen a few throws get away from Will Rogers early. That's one he'd like to have back because Marks may have been able to go get it first had he caught that one.
Andrew Osteen on to punt for Mississippi State. See if Clayton gets a chance for a return, as this will be a fair catch at the 37-yard line. Want to remind you, tomorrow morning, Sunday NFL Countdown. It is life after